Hi, Mark. I am just grabbing a quick coffee before the end of the day. What are you looking at on your phone? You are laughing so much, you are nearly crying.
Anna, you will not believe what just happened. I have just been reading the most hilarious email chain I have ever seen in my entire professional life.
An email chain? It must be very funny to make you laugh that much. Usually, our work emails are so serious and boring.
This one started as a very serious and boring email, but it took an unexpected and wonderful turn. It has made my entire week. The whole office is talking about it.
And now you have made me incredibly curious. You have to tell me the story. I need a good laugh on a Friday afternoon.
I would be happy to. It is quite a long story, but it is worth it. It is a classic tale of a terrible but very funny modern office mistake.
I am ready. I have my coffee. Tell me everything.
Okay, so the story begins about half an hour ago. The Human Resources Department, our HR department, sent an email to every single employee in the entire company.
An email to all staff. I think I saw that one come into my inbox. I have not had a chance to read it yet. Was it important?
It was important, but also incredibly boring. The subject line of the email was, quote, "Important update to our expense report procedures," unquote.
Well, that is possibly the most boring subject line in the history of email. I am already falling asleep just hearing it.
Exactly. The email was very long and full of very technical details about a new, complicated form that we now have to use to claim our expenses. It was full of business jargon and confusing instructions.
I can imagine. So it was a typical, slightly annoying corporate email that makes everyone's life a little bit more difficult.
Precisely. It was a very dry and uninteresting email, but it was the starting point for all the magic that happened next.
Okay, so the whole company received this very boring email about expense reports. What happened next?
Well, there is a man named Thomas in the accounting department. I do not know him very well, but I have seen him around. He seems like a very quiet and serious guy.
Thomas from accounting. Okay.
So Thomas obviously read the email from HR, and he obviously did not like the new complicated procedure. He wanted to write an email to his friend, who also works in the accounting department, to complain about it.
So he wanted to send a private email to one of his colleagues. That is a very normal thing to do.
It is a very normal thing to do. But, and this is the most important part of the story, he made one tiny but catastrophic mistake.
What was the mistake?
Instead of clicking the reply button to reply just to his friend, he accidentally clicked the reply all button.
Oh no, you are joking. He did not.
He did. So his private, informal, and very funny complaint was not sent to just his one friend. It was sent to every single employee in the company, including our CEO.
I cannot believe it. The classic reply all disaster. That is my worst nightmare. I am always so scared of doing that. So, what did his email say? Was it very bad?
It was not rude or offensive, but it was very, very informal and very, very funny. I have it here on my phone. Let me read it to you.
Please do. I need to hear this masterpiece.
Okay, so the email, which was sent to the entire company, just said this. Hi, Peter. Can you believe this new expense report form? I have looked at it,
and I think it would be easier to build a rocket ship and fly to the moon than to understand these instructions. Why do they make everything so complicated? I give up."
That is hilarious. Easier to build a rocket ship. That is a brilliant exaggeration.
But that is not the best part. After the text, he also included a GIF.
A GIF? In an email to the whole company? What was it?
It was a very famous GIF of a cat looking at a complex mathematical formula with a very confused and frustrated expression on its face.
The confused cat GIF. That is one of my favorites. That is so funny. So the entire company, including the management, received this email?
The entire company. I can only imagine the moment when poor Thomas realized what he had done. The feeling of pure horror.
Oh, I feel so bad for him, but it is also so funny. I can picture him sitting at his desk, his face going pale as he realized his terrible mistake. What did he do next? Did he just hide under his desk for the rest of his life?
He could have done that, but he tried to fix it. About 2 minutes after he sent the first email, a second email from him arrived in my inbox.
A second reply all email? What did this one say?
This one was very different in tone. It was written in all capital letters. It said, "Please disregard my previous email. This was sent to the entire company by mistake. My sincerest apologies."
The panic email. Writing in all capital letters is like shouting. You can almost feel his terror and his embarrassment through the screen.
You really can. Of course, sending the second email was the worst thing he could have done.
Why?
Because it just drew everyone's attention to the first email. Maybe some people had missed the first funny email, but now, after his panic email, everyone in the company went back to find it and to read it. He made the situation 100 times more visible.
Of course. The panic email just put a giant spotlight on his original mistake. So, what was the reaction from everyone else in the company?
It was immediate chaos. The office, which is usually very quiet on a Friday afternoon, was suddenly full of the sound of people laughing.
I can imagine. Everyone was reading the email at the same time.
Exactly. And then the email storm began. A few people, who also have a good sense of humor, started replying all to the email chain.
Oh no, the situation was getting worse and worse. What were they writing?
The first reply was from someone in the sales department. He just wrote, "No problem, Thomas. We agree with you," with a laughing emoji. Then someone else replied all, saying, "Me too. The confused cat is my spirit animal."
That is hilarious. But I am sure some people were getting annoyed by all the emails.
They were. About 5 minutes later, another type of reply all email started to arrive. The angry ones. The first one was from a senior manager. He just wrote, "Please remove me from this email chain."
And of course, that email also went to the entire company.
It did, which then caused other people to reply all, saying, "Me too. Please stop replying all." It was a complete mess. Our internal chat program was going crazy. It was just a long stream of laughing cat gifs.
This is the most beautiful story of office chaos I have ever heard. It is like a domino effect of email mistakes. But I have one important question. What about the management? Is poor Thomas going to get into serious trouble for this?
That was what everyone was wondering. It was a very unprofessional email, and he did send it to all the senior managers and the CEO. Everyone was a little bit worried for him.
I would be very worried if I was him.
But luckily for Thomas, our company has a pretty relaxed culture and a good sense of humor. We were all waiting to see what the official response would be.
And did you get one?
We did. About 20 minutes after the chaos started, the final email in the chain arrived. It was from the head of the Human Resources Department, the same person who sent the original boring email.
The final boss? What did her email say? Was she angry?
She was the opposite of angry. Her email was a masterpiece of management. It was so funny and so kind. Let me read it to you.
I am on the edge of my seat.
Her email said, "Dear all, thank you to everyone for your enthusiastic feedback on the new expense report procedures, and a special thank you to Thomas for his very honest and visual analysis. Your point about the complexity of the form has been noted."
That is brilliant. She is being so funny and gracious about it.
But this is the best part. She then wrote, "For future reference, and as a small training exercise for us all, I have attached a helpful image. It shows a picture of the reply button and a picture of the reply all button. Please take a moment to note the significant difference between them. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone."
I am crying with laughter. That is the best response I have ever heard from an HR manager. She is a true legend. She solved the situation with humor and kindness instead of anger.
She did. She acknowledged the funny side of the situation, but she also gently reminded everyone of the correct email etiquette. It was a perfect response.
So Thomas is safe. He is not going to lose his job?
I think he is safe. He will probably be the most famous person in the company for the next few weeks, though. It has made me think about how easy it is to make a terrible email mistake.
It is so easy. That reply all button is so dangerous. It is right next to the reply button. If you are not paying attention, you can easily click the wrong one.
I have almost done it myself a few times. I always try to double-check the recipient list now before I send any email.
That is a very good habit to have. What other common email mistakes do people make? I think another classic one is forgetting to add the attachment.
Oh, I do that all the time. I will write a long email, and at the end, I will write, "Please find the report attached." And then I will press send and immediately realize that I have forgotten to actually attach the report.
Then you have to send that embarrassing second email that just says, "Sorry, here is the attachment this time."
It is the worst feeling.
It really is. But, as I am listening to this whole story, I am thinking about something else.
What are you thinking?
I feel very sorry for Thomas. It must have been a horrible and very embarrassing experience for him. But in a strange way, I think what he did was actually a good thing for the company.
A good thing? How can sending a complaint about the company to the entire company be a good thing?
Well, think about it. For a few minutes today, everyone in the company, from the interns to the CEO, was united. They were all laughing together about the same silly thing.
That is true. It did create a very strong sense of a shared experience.
It did, and it was a very human moment. We all work in this very professional, corporate environment, and we are all supposed to be very serious. But this little mistake reminded everyone that we are all just human beings. We all get frustrated sometimes, and we all make silly mistakes.
It made everyone feel more connected.
I think so. It was good for team morale. It brought a little bit of humor and humanity into a normal, boring Friday afternoon. It was a reminder not to take ourselves too seriously.
I have never thought about it like that. You are right. Poor Thomas, in his moment of horror, has actually made the company a slightly happier place today.
I think he has. He is an accidental hero of company culture. But I do not think he will feel like a hero for a while. I imagine he is hiding under his desk right now.
I am sure he is. I think his colleagues in the accounting department will probably be making fun of him about this for years to come. He will never live it down.
He will be known as Rocket Ship Thomas forever.
This has been a very entertaining coffee break. Thank you for letting me share the story with you. It is much more fun when you can share the laughter with someone else.
It was the perfect story to end the work week. It has put me in a very good mood for the weekend.
Me too. Well, I should probably go back to my desk and actually try to understand that new expense report procedure now.
Me too. And I will be very, very careful which reply button I press for the rest of my life.
That is the most important lesson for us all. Okay, Anna, have a fantastic weekend.
You too, Mark. And thank you for the hilarious story.
Anytime. See you on Monday.
See you on Monday.